Captain, there you are! You did it, Captain! The Invincible 2 has reached a beautiful new planet just ready to colonize. Job well done, but it's not over yet. There's still a lot to be done, so let's build that colony. Oh good, I see you already have your coffee. That's perfect. Cryosleep is rough, so if you need a refill on that coffee, just let me know anytime, Captain. Oh, sorry, I haven't introduced myself. I was already in my cryopod by the time you came on board. I'm the resource manager on the Invincible 2, but you can just call me Rebecca. The rest of the crew are going to be very busy for a while now that we've arrived, so I've been assigned to bring you up to speed on what happens next. I've always been fascinated by the idea of colony spaceships, whether they're generational ships, or something like the Invincible 2 that uses some form of cryosleep or hypersleep, or even a ship that reaches its destination in only a few years or less. I've spent a lot of time, well before the Invincible ever launched, thinking about what resources I'd send along on a colony ship if it were up to me to decide all that. For example, what plants and animals would be best to bring along, or criteria for choosing the colonists who get to go on the ship. I'm not very technical, so I think about that sort of thing a lot more than, say, how the engines work or what sort of oxygen recycling system would be put in place. That's for the engineers to figure out. I will be talking about a bunch of tech here, Captain, but I'll be focusing on resource management, how things will be used, more than how they work, since that's where my field of interest lies the most. Mainly, it seems to me that on the first and only ship to leave Earth's solar system, filled with colonists ready to make a new life on a totally unfamiliar world, that absolutely nothing should be wasted long term. The Invincible 2 isn't just the vehicle to get everyone to the new planet, but now that we're here, we can take it apart to the smallest seams to keep making use of it for the colony itself. So roll up your sleeves and let's get to it, Captain. First, let's talk about the obvious things, the supplies that we brought with us in storage, starting with the food. To begin with, we have more than enough ready-to-eat food with us to last a single person a lifetime, which makes sense. I know this example I'm about to give will sound silly, Captain, but humor me. Imagine that on our trip here, one of the crew, yourself for example, had something go wrong with your cryopod and you woke up alone on the ship. You could spend the rest of your life eating nothing but, say, the peanut butter and jelly and tuna fish sandwiches we brought, and still never run out. For the sake of argument, Captain, let's just say you lived another 70 years after finding yourself alone on the Invincible 2. 840 months, or 25,500 days, give or take a few. That still would only feed a quarter of the 100,000 colonists for a single day. Don't worry, of course we brought way more than that. More like a year's worth of food for 100,000 plus people, which gives us that long to establish agriculture and grow our own food. We didn't bring only sandwiches, of course. The prepackaged meals are just a very small fraction of the food stores. Most of it is actually dehydrated. After all, if we can't find a good source of water on our new home planet, we'll be goners soon anyway. Dehydrated food not only takes up much less space, but it also weighs so much less, which in turn doesn't tax the engines as much. Captain? What's with that look? You feeling all right? Not queasy or anything from cryosleep? Well, all right, if you're sure, then let's move on. Aside from food, of course we brought weapons and ammunition for those weapons. I'm sure you saw Gunther's team already starting to load those up for transport to the surface. Not just for self-defense in case of alien attacks or dangerous wild animals, but also for hunting. Now, I know a lot of people don't like the idea of hunting, Captain, but we have to look at founding this colony as a survival situation, at least until the colony has been well established. If hunting turns out to be unnecessary, so much the better, but we've come prepared just in case. No one's going to come save us if we run into trouble. At least, no one from Earth will. Of course, we also brought plenty of knives, which are just about the most useful multitasking tool and weapon you can have in any survival situation. Other supplies we've brought include clothing, all sorts of tools, seeds for all kinds of useful plants, medical supplies, water filtration systems, explosives for mining operations, and candles, among other things. I've already made sure to download the whole inventory list to your tablet, Captain. We'll be transporting all these supplies and more, as well as the colonists and crew, to the planet via our many, many shuttles, corvettes, and other assorted transport ships on board the Invincible. I'm sure you've already seen at least a couple launch on their way to the planet with the advanced team aboard. Once we've brought everything and everyone down to the surface, we'll still have plenty of use for all those smaller ships. Public transit, exploration of the planet and nearby space, cargo transport for mined materials, crops, goods, etc., and of course fire and rescue emergency response teams. Now that we've moved all the supplies from storage to the planet, Captain, let's talk about what systems we can strip from the Invincible 2 and reuse on our new home. And what better place to start than with the ADS? The good old asteroid defense system that protected the ship on the way here can be repurposed very easily to protect the colony from not only any asteroids or meteors that might make it through the atmosphere without burning up, but also from any unfriendly alien visitors that might try to harm us. After being moved from the Invincible 2, let's rename the ADS to the CDS, or Colony Defense System. Moving on from the ADS to cryo, we have over 100,000 perfectly good cryopods to put to use. We don't know what the seasons will look like exactly on our new planet, Captain, though our long-range scanners gave us a rough idea. But anywhere we can live will probably have summer at least part of the time, so those cryopods can be used as deep freezers to preserve food. We can also set a few aside to use for medical emergencies. Yes, cryosleep is rough, but short-term cryosleep may be a better option than triage if there's a large emergency and many people get injured or sick all at once. It could also keep someone in critical condition alive long enough to reach the hospital for treatment if they get in an accident far away from the colony. I didn't forget about the reactor. We've got the power of a star on our hands there, Captain. A star! Hey, remember to thank Mark for building that when you get a chance, by the way. Do you have any idea how much power a star generates? Say goodbye to the idea of an energy crisis. We'll have more than enough juice to power our colony for years to come. Pretty much forever. Honestly, for as long as we can keep it running. It's not just the big systems either. Something as small and simple as the palm scanners for opening doors we'll be recycling to use as a lock system for any buildings that need to be kept secure. That way only authorized personnel can access those areas. All the tablets and computers we've been using on board, we can keep using as tablets and computers on the colony. They're perfect for data storage, staying in touch, learning materials for school for our children, and even art and entertainment. And the ship's computer AI system itself is far too powerful to ignore. It can serve as an interface that connects with a satellite GPS system, help us monitor the weather, detect any threats that might approach the planet, including unfriendly aliens, meteors, or anything else, keep the colony's devices connected, kind of like the internet we had back on Earth, and serve as a massive library of all the information we brought with us, as well as new info we gather, all with a full voice user interface. Our computer system's really an incredible piece of tech when you stop to think about it. Oh, Captain, remember when you first boarded the ship, you must have seen the elevator sterilization system in action. That will be very helpful for hospital use. Doctors can use it for scrubbing for surgery, and it's also perfect for decontaminating any people or supplies that have come in contact with any dangerous pathogens. We'll be dealing with totally new and unfamiliar viruses and bacteria on this new world, so the ability to sterilize them away is going to be critical for us, especially at first. Speaking of our new hospital, the airlock is perfect to reuse as a combination vacuum and hyperbaric chamber for medical use, and for science experiments as well. It's already designed to pressurize and depressurize the atmosphere inside it, and to withstand sudden and drastic pressure changes. Once we've stripped the ship of her systems, we'll start taking her apart for building materials. And yes, we'll be dismantling her right here in orbit and bringing the materials down to the surface in batches inside our smaller ships. I know, Captain, it sounds kind of ruthless when I say it like that, but I prefer to think of it that the Invincible 2 will always be a part of us and our colony. The same bulkheads and hull that protected us from the cold, cruel vastness of space and got us here safely will be the walls of our homes that our kids and grandkids will draw on with crayons someday. We can build our colony buildings themselves, at least in part, from pieces of the Invincible 2. Speaking of that, it's a good thing our head engineer included so many windows on the ship. A lot of people will be able to have beautiful windows to install in their homes right away. I think I overheard Mark saying something about only people with a proper appreciation of aesthetics getting one, but then he muttered something about a hat or something, so I'm not sure what he was talking about. Anyway, we'll use the blast shields to help reinforce our emergency shelters. They're already designed to deploy quickly, and they're sturdy enough to withstand a beating from a meteor shower or enemy attack, so they can no doubt handle any natural disasters, such as storms or tornadoes as well. After we've fully taken the Invincible 2 apart, that just leaves her engines. What? Warp core? No, Captain. I'm talking about her ion thrusters. Those we'll leave right here up in orbit and use them to pilot satellites for us, which we can use in combination with our computer system for GPS, weather forecasting, communications, and things like that. Are you good on coffee, Captain? If you need it, I can definitely get you some more. And that just leaves the people themselves. You didn't think anyone came along without being prepared to pull their weight around here, did you, Captain? Of course not. We all have useful skills to contribute. The crew's usefulness is obvious, Captain. For example, we need your decision-making skills to lead our new colony to success. Mark's a brilliant architect, of course, which will come in handy designing the colony. He did build the ship, after all. Gunther's skills are unmatched when it comes to fighting and security. No one knows more about weapons or strategy than he does. Celsi always has her eye out for everyone's health and safety. She's got extensive medical training that goes far beyond just knowing how to run the specific cryogenic system on board the ship. As for Bert, on top of being a talented mechanic, he's also extremely well educated. Oh, didn't you know he was an enthusiast of classic literature? I'm sure just one role he'll fill on our new home planet will probably be as a teacher. It's not just the crew, either. Each and every colonist has their own abilities to contribute to the success of our new home. We have farming experts, medical professionals, teachers, tailors, chefs, and so on. There are also people who carry our culture from Earth with them, including artists, gymnasts, singers, and storytellers. Hey, Captain? Thanks for getting all of us here to this beautiful planet. I can't wait to see what our new home has in store for us. Oh, there's your shuttle. I think they're ready for you now, Captain. I only had time to give you the basic rundown today, but if there's anything I missed or anything you want to go over in more detail with me, just let me know and I'll schedule us another meeting. I'll see you on the surface, Captain. Good luck!